Welcome to the very first episode of the Never a Phase Q&A. In just a moment, we're going to get into an interview with the band Glimmers out of Atlanta, Rom-Com Pop Rock, just one of my favorite bands right now. And they have a lot of cool stories to tell. They got a new album coming out. They're going to talk about also what it means for Maggie, a woman in the scene, to be a part of a female-fronted band. Alex gets into the songwriting process for the new album. Just a great conversation, really good friends, and I can't wait for you to hear it. But I wanted to let you know this is the Never a Phase Q&A. A part of the Never a Phase network. And basically, I've made some wonderful friends along the way, and I'd like to talk to them every once in a while, and I'm going to do it here. So if you're subscribing to this channel, every once in a while you'll get interviews from me, Ryan, and we'll talk to some great musician friends of mine. Also, we're going to do some NapNet round tables on this channel as well, where we get members of the Never a Phase network to come and talk about various topics that are important to us, maybe just some throwbacks in the scene, maybe some state of the scene stuff. So if you're interested in any of that, I can't wait to share with you some of the topics that we're going to discuss. So right now, I cannot wait to get into our conversation with Glimmers. My guests tonight are an Atlanta-based band. They call themselves Rom-Com Pop Rock. Say that 5 times fast. A mixture of energetic guitars, along with the most underrated vocalist in the scene. My favorite vocalist, I think, at the moment. The girl has pipes, everybody, and you need to know that. Everyone should know this band. I think they're one of the most slept-on bands that I've ever heard. And if you don't know them, you need to know them. They've opened up for bands like Red Jumpsuit Apparatus and Set It Off. And here tonight, I am getting not quite the exclusive, but the almost exclusive, because they have just announced their debut full-length album, The Art of Shattering, coming out November 7th. This is Maggie Schneider, Alex Downtain, Glimmers. How you guys doing tonight?
Yay, we're good. What a sweet intro.
That was awesome.
So sweet.
I'm trying to ride the hype train. I learn a lot from, like, the Kelsey brothers. That's really...
Absolutely.
It's so good.
Thank you. So this is what we're calling the Never a Phase Q&A as a part of the Never a Phase network, and just an opportunity. You know, I've done this weird social media thing for a couple years and gotten to make some friends and musicians, and we all have similar histories, upbringings, musical inspirations, and I just like to chat and pick brains and talk state of the scene and the music you make and what we all go through, and just, you know, compare notes kind of on where we're at. So I think the best thing for everyone, if they don't know Glimmers coming into tonight, let's get a little bio out of the way. Who are you guys? Where'd you start? And what's life like for Glimmers right now?
Ooh,
I read you guys
things.
I read you started like post-COVID. Maggie, you were doing solo stuff
did.
first? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Way back before Glimmers, I was a solo artist, and I had known Alex for a long time because, you know, he was in a local band. I was doing things like playing rock shows just with an acoustic guitar, like trying to find my footing in the scene, and was lucky enough to meet Alex many moons ago. And then one day I thought, oh, I really want to record some of my solo music, because I had done some like by myself, but I had worked with Alex on a couple of demos many, many years ago, and we had such a great time working on them together. So I thought, you know what? I feel like it would be really cool to go back to his place and just have the opportunity to collaborate on a longer body of work.
When she came here to demo, it was just because we were kind of shaping the songs that she already wrote. And I was adding production, and there was another guy that I used to run the studio with. His name's Ben Humke. He was here too.
Shout out, Ben.
And yeah, shout out, Ben. We love you, Ben. But, you know, like, that was like my role at the time. I wasn't in a band when she was doing that. And yeah, we wrote these songs, and it just worked out so well, and it was fun. And yeah, it was cool.
And I feel like as a solo artist too, it's really difficult to figure out where you want to go, because when you're working with so many different people, they're trying to kind of pull you in different directions, whether it's production or writing or bandmates or really anything. It's kind of hard to navigate by yourself. And I felt like when I worked with Alex, you know, it always felt like he listened to me and he understood my vision.
No. Yeah.
He understood my vision, but then he also always had a way of making it better, like always kind of bringing it to the next level that I never really knew how to approach. So we worked on solo music, and then flash forward to when COVID happened and everything. Alex and I had been playing shows a little bit. He was in my backing band when I was still a solo artist. So, we did like a few weekender runs, not really a ton of touring at that point, but it was something that I wanted to tap into. But when COVID happened, obviously everything shut down. It was terrible because performing has always been my favorite part of being an artist. And, you have people that prefer studio work and people that prefer the gigs, right? So it sucked, but it was also a bit of a blessing because it allowed me to think about what I really wanted to do kind of moving forward. And for me, it wasn't being solo anymore. It was forming the band and having more of an identity that's outside of just myself as an individual. And so we had the chance to write more songs. Some of these solo songs that he and I worked on at the time became Glimmer songs on those first 2 EPs.
Yep.
And then kind of the rest is history.
Yeah. That's cool.
We're still doing the same thing that we did when we started. It's her and I are working on these songs, and we record them in this room.
I've sort of been marveling at, obviously we all know, COVID messed with everything and flipped the script, but, finding out Daisy Grenade exists because COVID shut down a Broadway musical, and so there's a lot of happenstance around COVID where musicians, like you're saying, didn't have the outlet and didn't have the club places to go, and so had to insulate a little bit, but in doing that found collaboration or recording or whatever, found new avenues to create. And it sounds like you guys found some of that. So I don't know if I'm getting into your drama or anything like that, but there were other members to start, and we were back to Maggie and Alex. So was that a decision just based on collaboration, or is that just life gets in the way? How did that get back?
I mean, honestly, it's a life thing, 100%. And touring is tough. I think it's something, the more that you do it, the more you realize, okay, is this something that I see myself doing long term? Or is it something that I love, but I just don't feel like I have that passion to continue in the long term? And so we feel very fortunate. Glimmers has been many shapes and many different colors and, many amalgamations of the project. But in that case, it was just life stuff, bandmates and friends getting married, having moving, new adventures and all of that stuff. But I feel really fortunate, Alex and I have been able to, continue the torch, and we love the grind as much.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I live for it. The album's done and all that. It's like, man, I feel like I have more free time in a sense too. Kind of forget what do you need to do? I feel like I need to just be doing something. So it's nice, but I also wish I had what is the next thing? I need to just do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're in a band, it's a never-ending cycle of, okay, what do we need to do next for the band? And that in the highs, when you're at the peak or when you're doing something really amazing, it's like, oh my God, yes, let's keep going. But then of course, every artist has the lows and the slump and the disappointment. And it's something that, we laugh, we cry, happy tears, sad tears. We throw McDonald's fries on the floor. It just happens. It's just life. But yeah, I feel like we are, carrying the torch.
Yeah, for sure.
I do want to transition back again in a minute to some of your other influences, but just because you brought that up, you guys have the new record coming out. This is your first full length. You've done EPs and singles, and I actually wanted to ask you guys a question based on that. And this will make me sound old. Like you mentioned, life getting in the way. Obviously, once again, peeling back the layers, we're scheduling this around my children's bedtime. I know about life getting in the way. One of the things that I've noticed, because I'm like an old guy out of the scene now, is with the rise of social media and streaming, it seems like so much of what bands have to do now. Like I have friends that are musicians that basically say they're being pressed to just put out a single every 6 to 8 weeks. They're not being asked to put out albums worth of material, not even necessarily something that's cohesive, but just pump out a song every 6 to 8. Just keep yourself in the conversation all the time. And so you guys now choosing to put out a full length, what led to, okay, we want to put something out that's more put together? Is it about telling a more cohesive story? Is it about having all the material?
It's like, I think, to put it blunt, I think we're just doing what we want to do.
That's a good answer.
It's just like, we don't have an album out, and I kind of wanted one. I think is more along the lines, and and some of the songs that we've already released are on the record. You know what I mean? Like as that we've waterfalled it, if you will. But it's I just wanted a full body of work, and I mean, we're always writing, and it's like, cool, are we just gonna throw it a single, or are we gonna collect it and throw it in this pool of songs? And so this one time we chose to do that. I think is all it is.
Yeah, I think it felt like it was the right time.
Yeah.
Because I've talked about wanting a full length for a while, but it's never felt like we've had the material in a place to where it is, in our minds, cohesive on an instrumental level and an arrangement level, but also a thematic level. And that's where I come in my theater kid writer brain is I want all of the songs to feel like they belong on one project and kind of telling a story throughout.
Well, and also I think albums help like decide eras. You know what I mean? And it's like, you listen to the first stuff Glimmers put out, it's pretty different.
It's so different.
It's very different. And it's, we're growing and we're trying to figure this out. We don't know what's right or wrong, and we're just kind of doing what we think is cool, and but as we're changing, I think it can help, I don't know, just put us in a different era in a way.
And we've seen massive artists and bands, Fall Out Boy, Taylor Swift, obviously.
Yeah.
I think Beyonce all have embraced sort of that, acknowledging that, that this is a different era. This is who I was when I was, 25 or whatever. And now I'm 40, and that's different. And Alex, I'm sure on the production side, I'm always fascinated just in 5 years, the different sounds, the different things you're experimenting with, the different technology and equipment. I'm sure it is difficult if you didn't go into some of these recordings with the idea of I'm making an album, and then, this thing I recorded 2 years ago and this thing I recorded now, and then you try to glue them together. It's like, those don't always mix, but maybe they do.
It's weird because sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Like my computer, I have no lie, I have 800 song ideas on it. I've got a ton of them on there, and our single "Dancing Through the Flames," that song I wrote the instrumental 3 years ago. Like how it sounds right now is identical to what it sounded like 3 years ago. I had the exact instrumental. I had all the guitars written. I had it structurally done. Like I didn't change the structure, and I was like, Maggie, let's throw some words on it. And then that's what it turned into. You know what I mean? And she shifted the whole thing about it, So it's like yes and no. It's like I'll write something like now, and I'll be like, oh, this sucks. This is bad. Like this doesn't fit anything. But a lot of times I go in and I try and write instrumental stuff without a mindset for an album or for Glimmers or for whatever. I'm just like, cool, I'm just writing right now. That's exactly how Dancing Through the Flames came out. That's how I wrote the instrumental to Little Life. And, we'll write like that. And Maggie will also like Jaded. She had this song done, and she had the melody, the whole melody was done. I wrote the instrumental to her melody and lyrics. after the fact. I changed the chord progressions and I made it like this full band thing.
It was a sad girl song.
It was like 20 BPM slower. It was very like, it was just this sad ballad. It was this sad ballad. And I was like, man, we need this a little bit more uplifting. That's how I saw it, right? It's fun how we take both of these together to make something like a Jaded, you know, but it's from all different points of me. And like when I hear like an old song I've done even 2 or 3 years ago, like Little Life, I did refreshed the production on it because I did it like 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, I changed some things and updated some things, you know, to make it a little bit more modern or today, stuff like that. But it's interesting how it all works out.
All right. Well, Maggie kind of touched on this, so I do want to jump into it. I'm sure that if I went back and had a perfect memory, that my first introduction to Glimmers was probably like a TikTok video that got sent to me. I'm probably a Taylor Swift cover or something like that. But, you know, Maggie has a good following on TikTok. You do a lot of videos. But one of the things you do is the Broadway pop punk covers.
Yeah.
And when we had a chance to meet, I found out that you also were doing like Broadway rave nights. That's a thing that you've been doing.
Yes.
So you
We
mentioned...
just did one 3 days ago.
Did you really? So you mentioned the theater kid aspect. I've obviously already mentioned Daisy Grenade. I love Daisy Grenade because you can totally tell they're theater kids. First of all, what is the theater kid background? But two, as I kind of want to ask some questions about that branding that you've given yourself, the Rom-Com Pop Rock, that certainly has some theatrics and dramatics into it. What has that theater brought into the way that you approach songwriting, lyric writing, anything like that?
Man, so much.
I know, right? And tell me
like,
about the Broadway raves, for sure.
Yes. Well, I feel like my theater background is such a foundation for how I write lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like, too, there's a lot of similarities between musical theater and emo. I feel like the storytelling, you know, the quality of how a story is told and kind of the dynamic shifts when it comes to words, like not just the instrumental, but how lyrics can kind of take you on a journey, I think is just one of the coolest things about musical theater. But that was how I started performing, because my parents put me in dance lessons and singing lessons, and I loved it. And all through high school, I worked at a nonprofit theater company here in Atlanta. So I did everything from sing and like be in musicals to teach the young performers program, to learn lights and sound and play guitar in Little Shop of Horrors, and like I did everything. It always has had a special place in my heart. So I feel like in this band, it's a way for me to kind of tap into a little bit of that sensibility. I feel like especially in a lot of our visuals, like our Back to Hell music video, I love the drama. I love a fun music
Loves
video.
the tea.
I love the tea. I love a fun music video concept that is way more than just being in a cool setting and playing the song. So I feel like especially moments like that where I get to play a character in a video, or, you know, just kind of give another layer of the song that's beyond like who we are as people, but it creates its own kind of world or identity. I think that my theater background has helped a lot in that. And so even with Broadway rave, like Alex and I will DJ. That's kind of a side thing that we do. But Broadway rave is so fun because it'll be 500 people screaming the words to Hamilton, to Rent, to Wicked. People will come on stage in costume and perform the songs. Like,
wow,
it is insane.
We like to say that they're having an audition.
Yeah.
Up there. It's so good.
It's so good.
I may have caused a bit of controversy, so now I got to ask, Maggie, as an adult, what do you think of the quality of people, of the characters of Rent? That's the question of the day.
Okay, so here's the thing. I love that show.
I love that show, too.
I love Rent.
Oh, I do, too.
Jonathan Larson is, in my opinion, one of the most talented songwriters, like storytellers of all time. He is the reason that we have pop rock theater today.
Yeah.
I think that the reason why Rent
Andrew
is
Lloyd Webber
so...
somewhere just punched the drywall, but that no, I'm just no.
Hey, we love him. We love Phantom, Cats, School of Rock, great. Jonathan Larson, I mean, I love Tick Tick Boom. Like, honestly, I think I love
Underrated,
Tick, Tick,
by the
Boom.
way. Underrated.
Yeah. I think I love that more than I do Rent.
Really?
Yeah, because
Wow.
it's a story about feeling like you're running out of time to chasing your dreams and just the fight that it takes to be an artist. I really resonate with that. But going back to Rent, I think the reason why Rent is so compelling is because these characters are deeply flawed. They have great traits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're all so different. Like, I love that you see all of the different colors and sides of who they are in one musical. I mean, I love it. Side note, I got to meet very briefly Anthony Rapp and Andrew Pascal. We shared a green room when I did a show at 54 Below, and I had no
Really?
idea. And they were very nice. But I had
That's
a little
awesome.
Rent fangirl moment.
I saw Andrew Pascal on Broadway do Aida, actually, like way back, like way back. So that was a good one. I promise there was a segue,
So awesome.
a segue here, because what I think when I watch Rent now as a 41-year-old man, I'm like, oh, there's a reason why teenagers like fall in love with these characters, and just like you're saying, is they are very flawed, and it's a lot of angst.
Yeah.
And not wanting to face responsibilities, not wanting to face even with the disease, even facing AIDS. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to face mortality. Like, that's something
Yeah.
for other people. And so I think musicals specifically, like we're talking about Rent, like, that is a place where you can confront those things in a way that feels, a little safer.
Yeah.
When some of my, group, the Never a Phase Network people were talking recently about emo and pop punk, one of the things that came up recently was how often the music that we grew up with was used in like coming of age comedies or dramas. Like, we were thinking
Yeah.
about like I remember very vividly like Smallville having more emo adjacent, but like Lifehouse, was
Yeah.
used. People were talking about like, Blink-182 and American Pie and like One Tree Hill soundtrack and Buffy the Vampire Slayer and stuff like that. And so when I read you guys describing your music as that rom-com pop rock, and then you're talking about like the theater aspects as well, it's obvious that you are tapping into some of that emotion, that drama, almost like an adolescence,
Yeah.
of growing up that comes out in your music. Do you feel that was like an intentional choice, or are you thinking of that when you're writing it, that some of your music is kind of, growing up almost
Yeah.
into adulthood? Is that a choice?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, from an inspiration level, like, coming of age stories have always really resonated with me, like The Catcher in the Rye, or, books like that, and, watching movies like The Breakfast Club and those John Hughes classics where it's all about growing up and kind of understanding the world in a way that's, maybe not the prettiest sometimes, but kind of finding beauty in what's broken. And I think the album is very representative of our journey through all of that, because, I mean, we're not adolescents at this point.
Right.
But in a way, it feels like the band is growing into adulthood. Like, it's almost like the more that we've done this and the lessons that we've learned along the way, like, we're coming to those understandings of what this band is, what it means to us, kind of tapping into what we've been through. And one of the songs on the album is literally about growing up and kind of the harsh realities of that, and, feeling alone when you feel like you shouldn't feel alone, and kind of the ups and downs of existing through adulthood. So absolutely, I think that's a huge theme with what we're trying to do.
That's interesting, and it's good to know that we're vibing, because I do have a question here that sort of I think is talking about maybe what's going to come out more on the album, but it's certainly come out in some of your work that's been some of my favorite Glimmers tracks. Your music often seems to walk a line of having, like I said, Alex seems to be writing sometimes very upbeat guitars, and you know, you do have that like power pop punk sort of sound, but you're dealing with coming of age or dramatic or emotional things. Like I think specifically like Back to Hell. I don't know if there's a catchier betrayal song that I've ever heard, you know, like it's. And then most recently, you know, Dancing Through the Flames is such a bop, and you know, obviously other artists have done this, but it always catches me off guard when it's like, this is such a bop, and it's literally like, oh, the world's on fire and I'm dancing. Yeah. I think that's a really powerful thing, because I do think that sometimes when we are facing those challenges, almost smiling, laughing at it or whatever is a powerful reaction.
It's all you have sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's how you get through it.
So when you're writing those songs, I mean, even like you said with Jaded, just turning the BPMs up a little bit or whatever, is that also like a choice that like, okay, we're going to write, they're going to be sad, but we're not going to lean too deep into making sad boy and girl music kind of stuff?
It's so if it was
I know what you're going to say.
If it was not just, if it wasn't Maggie and I, and it was just Maggie, or if it's just me, obviously we would approach everything a little different. We take influences from each other. But, you know, Maggie comes from, like I was saying earlier, I like sad songs. I'm a theater kid. I want the first verse to be 4 minutes long. You know what I mean? So I come at it from, I do audio production. I used to record bands. I like structure. I will, you know, so I'm like, cool, this song is 7 minutes or 6 minutes, 5 minutes, however. We need to shorten this, I feel like. I think it should be 3 minutes or 4 minutes. We need to cut this verse. We need to maybe speed it up. Maybe that's the, you know, it's like I kind of like help shape it to like this package that can, you know, whatever. But she doesn't need to worry about that. She's writing these bangers. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just, I'm focusing on the guitar and the music behind it, but oh yeah.
It's funny because sometimes, like even back in the day, I had writer's block about writing to Alex's instrumentals.
Yeah.
Because I think coming from a background of, I always used to like write songs only by myself and sitting on my floor and like writing on my acoustic guitar. Like it was hard for me to kind of break out of that box and in a way like trust someone else's creative vision, right? Because it's a different vision from mine, but that's what makes what we do special, is the give and take. And so with Dancing Through the Flames, he sent me that instrumental so many times.
I'm telling you, it was like we would talk about a new song and I'd be like, yo, I got one for you, and I would send Dancing Through the Flames. I have been pushing for us to work on that song for over 2 years.
But I didn't know what I wanted it to be about. Like the hardest part for me is starting the lyrics. Like once I have a phrase or an idea, then I'm able to like write it in an hour.
Yeah, we were on the phone and we were talking about what the song should be about. I literally said Dancing Through the Flames or like walking through hell with a smile.
And I was like, I like that. I'm going to use that.
She was like, I'm going to try it. And then, like, literally the next day, she had it done. It was just like, bam. She had it done. It's like sometimes you just need that spark. And I mean, and it's like that with working on the instrumentals, too. Like, I sometimes can be in a writer's block just, like, writing from nothing. And she'll be like, oh, I wrote this today. And I'll be like, yo, record that vocal. Send that to me right now. And then, you know, I'll write a Jaded over it. You know what I mean? We should try and maybe one day we'll post the original version of Jaded. I know.
Oh, I have the voice
I still
memo.
have it too.
Jaded 10-minute version or whatever, is that going to be
Yes,
Oh,
listen.
totally that vibe. It is totally 10-minute version vibe.
I was in my Phoebe Bridgers feels that day.
It's so good. It's awesome.
Oh, you know what? I was going to ask this in the beginning. I did not ask it in the beginning, but since we've sort of talked about that you guys come at songwriting maybe from different places, and that actually is the secret sauce to some of the way that Glimmers works. Obviously, my audience and the people we're sort of recording for right now, we're coming from that 2000s pop punk and emo, never a phase. We're still listening to that today. Whether it is from that scene or whether it's an extension out of that, what were the inspirations for your entering into the music scene or just loving music to begin with?
My answer.
Go ahead.
My Chemical Romance
Yes.
was the first emo band that I fell in love with.
Once again, no flair for the dramatic there. No.
Yeah. Well, there
Yeah.
you go. Like it
I got
makes
into My
sense.
Kim super late, so
He did.
like super late.
He missed the bus.
I missed
now
the bus.
he's here.
Oh, I am so. It's my favorite band.
But they were a huge inspiration for me. Like hearing the Black Parade for the first time was so special. Green Day as well. Green Day was a huge influence for me growing up. Like Wake Me Up When September Ends was the first song I taught myself on guitar. Like I love Green Day so much. But those were really the two of the rock world. Besides that, like the Jonas Brothers, Demi Lovato, Taylor Swift, like my pop girlies, Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
She's a huge reason why
She's amazing.
I continued playing piano, because I saw a badass woman like sit in stiletto heels and play rock piano. Like so cool.
I was super into Sum 41.
Oh, good one.
Big Sum 41 fan. Does this like affect all of it? Like I ate it all up.
Dave Brown sound, man.
Dude, it's so good. Like that was, I don't know. It's like I started playing guitar. I did that, and then I got here. Let's see. I'll show you.
Oh,
4 Year Strong
There you go.
is like one of my favorite bands of all time. You could totally hear it in Jaded. Like I'm totally influenced by that band. But it's I mean, so like after I like really listened to 4 Year Strong and like Enemy of the World, I was like, oh, dude, this is Chef's Kiss, you know? So but I mean I listen to like all different types of music. Like for guitar, I'm like, you know, Intervals is one of my favorite bands. Like I listen to like a lot of like heavy stuff too. So it's like it is all over the place. All over the place. Oh yeah, and Breaking Benjamin. I was super into Breaking Benjamin.
You were a Breaking Benjamin kid.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I ate that up. I thought those riffs were so sick.
So let's talk a little bit before we transition to anything else. Just the recording process for the Art of Shattering. You said you're recording it basically right where you're at right now.
Yeah.
How long was the recording process?
So
we started with Jaded, technically.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been a while, and we've also cut songs.
Yeah.
We've recorded songs, like finished them, and then
We're like, I don't know if this makes sense now.
yeah, literally there was one of them. Maybe we'll like just tease it and be like, maybe one day. I don't know. But literally, we were like done with it, and I was like, you know, Maggie, I don't like this one.
And then I was like, yeah,
I don't like
I
it
don't either.
I was like, bye. And since we do it ourselves, it's fine. It's just time wasted. It's not anything else other than that. But yeah, I mean, it's a long time coming. It's like it's been over the course of a minute.
yeah. And we're lucky because Alex has this wonderful studio. So we track all vocals here
In that booth?
in that booth right there.
In
I
that
spend a lot of time. I drink a lot of tea in there, or I pretend to because I don't like tea. And
yeah,
then
I make her drink. It's
Tea and
delicious
honey.
tea.
Tea and honey.
it has
Oh.
coconut oil in it.
That's the sauce, dude.
It's
Throw some coconut oil in it.
disgusting.
So it's not.
Gonna coat the vocal cords. You got
That's it. It's and you know, I make this drink for her. So you don't like the drinks that I make for you.
No.
You know what? That's just not.
We're exposing
If you're
things
listening
right
to
here.
this, just I want you all to think about that. I make a drink.
He already knows.
It's gross.
I complain.
It's not good, but it does the thing.
Now
But
we're getting into the literal tea of Glimmers right now.
Yeah. But we record everything in this room, and then we're very lucky to have a really great team of people. Jonathan Roach is our mixing engineer. We have Lucas Genau, who does
Lucas.
vocal engineering.
So I record the vocals and I send it to him. He does all the editing for me, and Lucas is awesome. And then
Seth Munson.
mastering. Seth You're a godsend. You're awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody. Jonathan's great. I've known Jonathan Roach, our mixing engineer, for a while. So we track everything here, and then I send it out. I edit it, and then I send it out.
I do think still it is a slight against the music industry that no one has picked you up and signed you, but you guys got to do it all yourself. There was no pressure. You got to, like you said, decide what was on the album by yourself. Did you find, since it did take a little bit of time, did you find any kind of like big changes in direction or tone, or was it really just more choices about songs?
Well,
It didn't become something completely different or anything like that?
We set these imaginary deadlines.
Because I'm type A and I want things done.
Which is good because I am super ADHD. I have it really bad. And if I work much better on deadlines, or I will be like, song's almost there, I'll write another one.
I start my day with stimulants, or I don't start my day.
Right? We want it to be cohesive, but we just want to write music too. So it's interesting how that it kind of plays out that way, but
We're also lucky we have a really great manager, shout out Katrina, who
Big K.
has the similar sensibility that I do of type A-ness, and Alex is type A too. Like
with some things.
Especially with the production stuff, like he's like, oh, I need to get this one little part perfect, and I have to focus on it.
Oh, and yeah, that was actually one of the things I was going to touch base on. So we set these deadlines, and we're not signed. It's like just us being like, cool, we want it next Friday. You know what I mean? With that being said, it's like we're trying to get this body of work out, and so the pressure's for sure on of getting this done and recorded and written, and so that's all it is. It's hard, but it's fun.
Like you talked about going back to like the early days at Glimmers, when you guys were just getting started. Now that you've done a full length, even just like the exercise of it, sort of the recording and doing all that. Is there anything from your old catalog that you're kind of like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should, it'd be nice to revisit that because we've learned some new tricks, new ideas or whatever. Is there a song that maybe could get that Taylor Swift treatment maybe?
I'm not going to say it'll never happen, but it probably would happen in the future.
Oh, yeah?
Could be cool.
It could be hot even.
Could be hot even. Sounds like we're tapping into something. Oh no,
yeah.
What have we done?
What have we done?
Teasers. By the
big things coming.
We might know
things coming, all right?
What day was that album out? What day is it out? November 7th? We got to watch out for that.
Dude, you're so funny.
What?
I just love you. I've always loved you, dude. You're so good.
I love you. I'm keeping that in the show. I love you, man. How do you guys feel about playing live? You guys have been on the road pretty regular, and we sort of mentioned early on, once again, I'm an old guy. I feel like there are so many bands and musicians who are really content to just be YouTube and TikTok musicians.
Yeah.
They don't get out on the road. They're just, playing in their living room. And for me, I don't feel like you get the full experience unless you're out on the road. What has been going out on the road been like for you?
I'll just start this off. It's like whenever I'm on the road and someone's like, hey, man, how's tour? What's it been like? I literally just send them a photo of a Pilot's gas station because that is like, okay, on the Bailey Spin Census tour we did, we stopped at over 100 of them.
100?
That was just, we filled up the van 100 times. So it's like, how many times do you think we stopped just to pee?
Right.
Or like something, like, oh, dude, I really want some chips. Like we stopped for that too. So it's like,
need some Takis, man.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like the gas station hangs are very important to me. It matters. And it's so gas station vibes got to be up. Buc-ee's, we love that. So that's like a huge, honestly, like, I know it's like kind of funny, but that like the gas station's a big part of touring.
Wawa. I'm team Wawa.
I'm team Buc-ee's, but
for my East Coast crew, do you have a Wawa order you want to share with the?
Ooh, I love their turkey panini. That's usually what I get.
Yeah, that is good. I kind of go crazy and I'll get like, they have like this mac and cheese sandwich thing. I feel like they should call it the garbage sandwich because that's what it looks like. And it just has a hodgepodge of everything. And I get that.
I was going to add to get to the the front woman answer of that question of how tour is. Tour is great.
It is.
Like I said, it's my favorite part of being in the band. The full US tour that we did where we met you with Bailey Spin and Senses was one of the coolest things I've ever been able to do.
That was our first full US tour.
Yeah, we went to Canada for the first time. We went to so many cities for the first time, even like the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really, really like, it's just such a cool moment to be able to go to all these new places and meet people. Because on TikTok, you know, we'll go live, we'll talk to people commenting, and that's a really special thing. But when you actually meet those people in real life,
dude, it's so cool. It is so, that is one of the coolest things ever.
It makes everything worth it. Like, someone came to our show in Orlando this summer and made us a painting.
That's
so
awesome.
Cool.
Like, made us a painting inspired by one of our EPs, and I just started crying. I was like, people care this much?
Yeah.
Like, this is so amazing and rewarding, and
Sure. I mean, yeah, so, I mean, live music, I think, is important because you build that connection. It's not, obviously, we're all connecting through screens and whatever, but there is just something to be like, oh, I'm feeling this.
Yeah.
So to that, like, what, do you have a favorite song you're playing when you're playing live right now?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean,
it's a real cliche question, but I feel like it's a good one.
You go first.
Jaded is so much fun to play live. That song is just a blast to play. But I think for me it's Bad Influence.
Bad
Really?
Influence.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Bad Influence is fun to play.
Okay, honestly, I love Back to Hell.
That's a great.
That song is so good.
Especially when we were
Lance.
when we were on the Bailey Spin and Census tour, it was a little bit of a younger demographic.
It was.
And I love that. I think that is so cool, and I love seeing parents taking their kids to shows and like getting them excited about music, and just to hear the sweet voices singing "Have a Safe Trip Back to Hell."
Oh, dude.
It's so awesome.
That was worth everything to me. That was
so awesome. But yeah,
funny.
I love the sass in that one.
So I guess that will be a good segue into what I'm gonna call hot topics. Now I realize I'm probably gonna be like the 80th emo adjacent podcast to have a segment called Hot Topics, but it's the best name for it, so that's what we're gonna stick to.
It's a good name.
It is a good name. I couldn't.
It's a good name.
The hot topics for you guys is, of course, around the song Jaded. And since you're specifically, now we've talked a couple times about the Bailey Spin and Senses tour. I was there for that. I saw it. And when I was there, you know, as a girl dad, it was very, very cool to see. I walked in thinking I was walking into one show and arrived at a very different show because
that was what you said to me. Yeah, I remember you saying that to me.
Because you had this young female demographic. I mean, and when I say young, I'm talking like 12, 13, 14. Like, it was really, really young, coming from the emo pop punk scene. But that scene thrived on young women. Like, young women kept bands in business.
Yeah.
But young women didn't always have a space to be the creators in that musical space. And so in your song Jaded, which was 2023, right? 2023. 2023, you released a song called Jaded, specifically dealing with the fact that once basically Hayley Williams broke out on the scene, any young woman in pop rock and pop punk, anything in that sort of scene, basically unless you're in metal, any young woman coming up in the scene is getting constantly compared to Hayley Williams and getting compared to Paramore. And you know, after the show, oh, you know who you guys remind me of? Let me guess, Paramore? Like, it's always the answer. Even though, you know, I've listened to Glimmers. Obviously, there's some, you know, pop punk influences, things like that. But in terms of, like, song structure, Glimmers has nothing in common with Paramore, you know?
That's how we feel.
Yeah, exactly. But so you write this song, and you took a very direct approach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Choosing to name Hayley specifically in the song and just saying, you know, we love Hayley, but it hurts basically to be compared constantly all the time. And, you know, and Hayley's like Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
like, you know?
I mean, she's top.
What made you make that choice to be like, I'm not dancing around this. We're gonna, like, if I recall correctly, and you can correct me,
How
the
many
song was
comments are-
the song was originally called Haley, right?
It was.
So
it
you
absolutely was.
You went straight for it. What made you want to go so straight for this issue?
Yeah. So for me, it's a lot of things. There's a huge difference between the listeners that will come to the show and that will compare us to Hayley Williams in a way that's not putting us in a box, you know? Because obviously, I love Paramore.
Yeah.
I sing it in the song. A lot of people miss that, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll talk about them in 1 second.
I grew
Yes.
up on Paramore, you know.
Yeah,
so.
like she is one of the reasons why, you know, women have a bigger space today. And she fights for us, and I love that. I just had enough of people saying, yeah, you're just another like Paramore band.
Oh.
Like saying it in a way that's like, so you're just not seeing me for the unique artist that I am. You don't see us as anything more than a female fronted band. And it's the same people that say that, yeah, female fronted is a genre. It is not.
It's not.
And so I got
not.
fed up. I got fed up.
So if I can ask that, because I think that's important.
Yeah.
There weren't just people, you know, doing the kind of generic of where you could tell the only female-fronted band they listened to was Paramore, and they're like, you remind me of Paramore. It was literally, they came from a perspective where they thought you were being a carbon copy, even though that's obviously not true.
I mean, as somebody on the outside of this, like, I'm in Glimmers, right? But I'm not her, right? So it's a little bit of a different place for me because she's the one that's getting that comparison, right? And so, but from me, I see it. I see it all. I would see it all the time, and you know, and we'll play Jaded, and people will still be like, "Hey, you sound like Paramore." You know, it's so good. Like, and when we first were playing that song live,
Media literacy is dead.
So it's like, yeah, like I told her, I was like, "Yo, it's still coming."
Yes.
It's like we'll play this, and that's part of the reason why I wanted the last song in the set. You know? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think too, it was like trying to bring like our identity back to ourselves. Like being in charge of the narrative rather than having everyone else be like, oh yeah, female fronted band Paramore. I felt like I wanted to stir the pot a little bit and to make people think for a second about what that really means. Because I have a lot of friends in the scene that are female and non-male artists, whether it's Daisy Grenade or Honey Revenge or Tay Jardine of We Are the In Crowd or Tonight Alive or anybody else. Anytime I'm in a room with them, we will talk about this.
Really?
Like it's just a thing. And Daisy Grenade did an interview recently where they called it Compara Morrison's,
Which actually I think
Dev came up with.
Yeah, I think Dev did come
from Honey Revenge.
Honey Revenge.
So all the girlies, it's like an inside joke at this point. But I feel like it was important for us because it's something that can be very backhanded, and I've faced kind of both sides of that coin. And I just wanted people to think about, you know, you're not saying this about male-dominated bands.
Right.
Like, it's just putting female and non-male fronted bands in this box of like, oh, they're just doing this thing. Like, we've heard it.
And to touch one thing on it, it's like, I know a lot of people mean no harm by it.
Yeah.
Right.
We know that. Like, I know that, like, people are like, hey, like, you know, I love it. Like, y'all remind me of Paramore. Like, it's totally cool.
That's
like,
different.
It's totally fine. Like, that doesn't bother me. I'm assuming it
No.
doesn't bother. Yeah. So I think it's more so it's like the other end of it where, like she was saying, they just kind of write you off and you're like, hey, but like, I'm standing here like as me. And I don't know. It's a weird rope to walk on, you know?
Well, and I think you brought up a good point that it really broadens how frustrating I think it is for me, you know, as a guy, to fully understand how painful and upsetting that could be, because like you said, the idea of female fronted as a genre or as a template, no one when I was making music would come up to me and the music I was making and be like, oh, you remind me of Pete Wentz. Like, we weren't making Pete Wentz music. Like, no one would do that. So the idea that basically by saying that, and I do want to reiterate, we love Hayley Williams, we love Paramore, like this is top-notch stuff. But when that is your only frame of reference to place on an artist, you're basically saying there's only room in the space for one woman, essentially, or one non-male singer.
Yeah.
And that really diminishes the art, because then there are all these voices that just get turned into you're a B- Haley, or whatever, you're the D tier Haley, or whatever, and I know that's not the intention that people are probably trying to say, but that's just what it becomes. You're a lesser Haley, even though I'm not trying to be Haley. I never was trying to be. I'm a whole different. I'm my own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be incredibly, incredibly frustrating. And I do want to add, we just saw this happen in the metal world with Courtney LaPlante,
Same thing.
where a journalist just walks up and does not even know she's talking to Courtney LaPlante of Spirit Box, who, once again, for me, is an icon at this point. She thinks she's talking to Poppy, and I'm a big Poppy stan, and I'm like, I'm
too.
Hurt
I
for
love Poppy.
I'm hurt for both of you guys. You didn't know what Poppy looked like. You didn't know what Courtney LaPlante looked like. You're diminishing.
You did no research.
Yeah. You're diminishing both of their careers. And this is a night that they're supposed to be being awarded. And you saw Metal Girl must be Poppy, because that's there's only one. Yeah. Even though there's many more. And so, that could be really frustrating. I do want to talk, and I don't know, I hope you guys avoided the comments. I went to the comments.
Hell yeah.
Because
bring them on, baby.
The very direct approach, specifically about Hayley, and once again, the song originally being called Hayley, brought you guys some backlash from the Parastans, the Paramore fan base. And they came out of the woodwork for a minute for you guys, either perceiving the song as jealousy or a slight. And I do think that 90% of the people that I saw comments from, like you said, didn't even listen to the song to know that the song is very reverent of Hayley Williams, but they just saw it as a slight. How did you guys deal with that backlash?
I'll tell you how I found out. So we were on tour. We were doing like a Northeast run, and I work my day job on the road, so I have to wake up early and start my day. So we were parked by a Planet Fitness, I'll never forget. And I got out of the bunk and I noticed my phone had hundreds of Twitter notifications. Hundreds. And the video that sparked the controversy was, in my mind, a very empowering video. I had a lot of friends in the scene that are, female singers, artists, non-male artists, things of that nature. A bunch of them send me videos of them holding a sign that says, "I'm Tay" or "I'm Audra," so whatever their name was.
I remember that video.
Yeah, as a symbol of saying, hey, we are our own people with our own unique voices. We're lifting each other up. We are not Hayley. We have our own name, our own identity. And so that video was not well received because people took it as a slight of us saying, we don't like Paramore, like you said, we're jealous, not a fan of the band. I don't know how it was misconstrued that way, but to each their own. But I remember seeing all of those comments and immediately just bursting into tears and having a really bad day. And to the point where I called my mom and I was sobbing in the Planet Fitness locker room, to the point where very sweet women were coming up to me and thinking that I was broken up with or something really bad happened. And then
where is he?
Where is he? We'll take him down for you.
They were like, sweetie, he's not good enough for you. So I'm like, I cannot explain this to you right now.
What's his name? Hayley. Oh wait, no.
But it was really hard. And I felt like, people saw me as like this terrible, mean person that was just hateful, and
And
that's
when I
nothing.
think Maggie Schneider,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
But that's nothing at all of what we stand for.
Yeah.
So it was really hard. There was a point where I thought we should not release the song. I went back and forth in my head, and, you know, Alex was really sweet. Our bandmates on that run were very sweet to me, very supportive of whatever I wanted to do, because obviously
It was her decision.
the backlash was on me. And so they were like, hey, whatever you feel comfortable with, do it. And really up until the last second, and I'll give you a chance to talk, but, you know, I just was like, I don't want to do this. People think I'm someone that I'm not. They don't understand. We had a show, like, we're on tour. Like, I'm having to exist and perform and not burst into tears every 5 seconds. Like, it was really tough. But the thing that kind of kept me going was Alex saying to me after a set in Ohio.
hey,
In Ohio, I can't remember where it was. It was in Columbus somewhere.
I feel like it was an old church.
Maybe.
I don't know.
we got a lot of those.
Yeah.
But he said to me, who cares about what they think the song is about? Because the people that will understand will appreciate that you are taking the time to say something. And the fact is, people already know your stance. They've already heard a clip of the song. So you do you, but I feel like if you feel strong enough to make the decision to put it out, it's really important to, like, say that.
Yeah, I essentially, like, my stance was we're either all in on it or all out.
Right.
And I felt this way. Like, I stood by what the message was. You know what I mean? Once you understand it, it's like, yeah, of course, right? But since it was her decision, I was like, you feel this way. If you want to do it, go all in. Like, yeah, people know your stance. So that's what you did.
Yeah.
And I'm happy it did.
Me too.
I've heard it live. It's a powerful moment live because I think, once again, it's one of those subtle, like, under the surface things where I'm a guy, this doesn't affect me the same way, but I do feel like women are constantly put in competition with each other
Yes.
for no reason.
It's so much more competitive.
And so,
out
like,
of nowhere.
just the idea that, like, people would come that hard.
Yeah.
But once again, fan bases are very passionate and
They are.
easily excitable. But for me, once again, with the demographic that tour that you guys were on brought out, I found it very cathartic that, like, it's almost like a peacemaking song, making peace with other women.
Yeah.
And you had these young girls sort of singing along. Stop comparing me to the women we love. Like, you know, that.
100%. And it's really cool because now, like, you know, we'll look at our most streamed songs on a daily, weekly basis. It is now, like, in our top songs. Like, it's outperforming so many other singles, like, continuously.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool because I'm like, oh, like, people are starting to really
People understand now. Yeah.
Yeah.
People understand, like, you know, obviously we're not getting DMs like, oh,
Yeah.
like, we're not. People I think they understand
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the most part.
You know, this is something that's been in sort of the background conversations, like, for non-male fronted bands, for women fronted bands, that you guys had all recognized that this was kind of happening and kind of talked about it. So you end up doing this special version of
Yeah.
Jaded with Tay Jardine. How did that come about, and how did you feel getting that? I mean, that's like a stamp of approval, seal of support that you weren't alone in
Yeah.
this fight after feeling so beat up. What was that
Yeah.
like?
So I love her so much.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. She's so sweet.
Like, I grew up listening to We Are the In Crowd too.
Love We Are
Like,
the
they
In
were
Crowd.
the very first band I saw at my very first Warped Tour in
Nice.
2012. And both of my parents came with me, and they were on bright and early at noon. And I fell in love with their music. And she was one of the people in that moment where I was just feeling, like, really alone and really down. Like, she checked up on me.
That's awesome.
And I'll never forget that. And I even asked her, you know, on a very vulnerable note, like, hey, like, do you think that we did something wrong? Like, I didn't mean it like this. And she's like, no, like you absolutely didn't. And, you know, kind of stood by us through the release of that. And when I asked her if she would want to be a part of the acoustic version, she said she'd be honored because she has felt that same feeling as we have, and as up and coming bands, you know, today continue to do. But even, you know, she told me she met Hayley Williams at a festival that they were performing at many moons ago. Like, We Are the In Crowd was playing Ann Paramore, and they were talking, and Tay made a joke of, hey, like, do you ever get compared to somebody? Because, you know, myself, Jenna from Tonight Alive, like all of these people, like, that's just what people do. You know, is there anyone for you? And Haley's Haley was Gwen Stefani.
Gwen Stefani. I was going to say, I'm old enough to remember that. It was Gwen Stefani. Yep.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
Which is bananas.
Yeah, yes.
That's bananas.
Because again, I mean, Hayley Williams sounds nothing like Gwen Stefani.
No.
It's
like,
so
that's
funny.
comical how different that is.
But
Yeah.
it was
Like, it's not even close.
But it was the vaguely punk rock pixie girl thing. Like,
Yeah.
like literally, it was like they were allowed to have one of them at a time. That's all
Yeah.
you're allowed.
It just shows in history that women just get compared a lot. And
yeah, it really does.
it's ridiculous.
And
So-
I think that's, we see it all over the place. And once again, as a guy, I try to be more aware of it, especially, you know, it's such a terrible answer, but, you know, I'm definitely more aware of it now raising a daughter. Like,
Yeah.
I should have been more aware of it before, but you can't avoid it now. The comparison games.
Yeah, and it's, you're constantly learning, right? And trying to do better. Like I do. Like every day I'm like, cool, I should be better than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
And so that's all you can strive for. So that's it.
To that, in this Hot Topic section, one of the things with the Never a Phase Network, and it came out very early on when we started grabbing other creators and collaborators that we wanted for this project, we were definitely bringing in women creators. And very quickly, they started sharing their stories of basically just how evil and toxic social media is to be a woman creator. So Maggie, once again, sort of specific to you, with the live streams, with the TikTok accounts, Instagram, whatever, not just, you're already putting yourself out there as a musician, but, you know, now in this world where musician also means social media personality, what's that been like? I mean, I say that almost like I don't want an answer, but like I think we need the answer because I've heard horror stories. How's that been for you?
I mean, you know,
Long pause.
Like when you asked that, I started laughing because of just some of the responses. Like, I mean, I'm a dude, and so like they're not.
Yeah, they don't come for me.
They don't come to me.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Yeah. I feel fortunate that most of my experience online has been really positive. I feel like kind of where I've planted my roots, like on my own individual content, like whether it's Broadway covers or, you know, silly little vlogs, like it's a very kind of open-hearted and safe community that I feel like I have continued to put myself in. But of course, there's always the hate comments, there's always the inappropriate comments.
Can I tell you my favorite comment that she's ever gotten?
Oh, sure.
You ready? Yeah, it's so good. You ready?
I'm ready.
I don't know which one you're going to say.
I like your hair. Do you have diabetes? That's all it said.
I don't even know what they were
I like
getting
your
at
hair.
there.
I like your hair. Do you have diabetes?
It's a
That's
personal.
all it was on
So
a TikTok
funny.
live.
No
I
question.
busted out laughing. Yeah,
So funny.
it's my favorite.
Yeah, TikTok lives are wild.
Yeah.
Wild West.
Because people, like, it's no hard feelings. People will just copy and paste the craziest thing.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh, so I'm going to, like, block you now.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's a mix of things. Like, I feel lucky I've put myself in a very, like, safe and, like, welcoming community. But there are days There are days that I will open a DM, or, you know, as women, you post a selfie and that's like an introduction for someone to say something that they really should regret.
Oh yeah.
It's not cute. It's not cute. Stop doing it.
Especially if, yeah, PSA, don't do that. Like, I promise you, the artist is not, like, interested in that. Ever. Like, never.
No artist has ever gotten that message and been like, you know what? Actually.
You know what? I appreciate you asking me. I am ticklish. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate you asking me that. I'm ticklish.
I would like to leave it all and run away with you, strange man on the internet. Like, what?
Yeah,
like, yeah, totally.
You know what? I don't have diabetes, but thank you.
And you know, I bring it up, it's obviously an uncomfortable thing, but I think I found myself very naively, like, I hate to admit how naive I am sometimes, but, you know, I'm like, it's 2025. Like, I am well aware of how poorly behaved our scene was for a long time, and, like, a lot of it came out and was exposed, and I was like, okay, and we're done with that now. And then once again, getting to know a lot of creators, a lot of female creators especially, and starting up kind of these endeavors and just hearing how it still is, and I'm like, oh, we've learned nothing, like nothing has changed, like, and so the only thing I can do is sort of like what Alex said is, okay, I can be better today, I can help educate today, and we can all try to be better tomorrow. But I do wake up some days and go, okay, if I was a woman, would I be doing what I'm doing right now? Like, would I have it in me just to present my face on the internet every day? Because I don't think I would. But so kudos to you.
That's what I'm saying. Props to women. Like, it's like, yeah, I mean, we're not getting compared like that, and we're not getting DMs like that, and all the crazy, you know. So kudos to you.
Kudos
Thanks.
to you.
Hey,
dancing through the flames, baby.
You have to sacrifice a lot to be a performer. And you know what? If I get a comment that's saying I'm ticklish or asking if I am, well, then I can just delete it. So,
Alex, I'm gonna start hitting up every post on Alex asking if he's ticklish.
Dude, I'm just. Are you ticklish?
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to something way more fun.
Sure.
We are going to close with the Never a Phase Q&A. This is really, really simple. This is my lightning round.
Ooh.
10 questions dealing with the scene and scene-adjacent things around Glimmers. Some of it's real easy. Some of it maybe makes you think a little bit. But this is kind of the lightning round to pick your brain, where you are at in the scene, in music, and in your musicianship. So let's go. This is Never a Phase Q&A. Question number 1. Fueled by ramen or drive-through records?
Fueled by ramen.
I thought that might be your answer.
Shocking.
Best thing to order after a show at the Waffle House?
Ooh. Chicken melt. Double order hash browns.
Chicken melt double order of hash browns with cheese.
Sometimes a triple. I'm a big boy.
Big boy.
I get the exact same thing, but double hash browns, never triple. I play it safe.
You guys are
play it safe after the show.
Post-show carbo load right there, though. Get some starches in you.
Give me some cheese.
What is the best place to play in Atlanta?
3, 2, 1.
The Masquerade.
I knew it was going to be the answer.
You could ask me one of my favorite venue in America, and I would say the Masquerade.
The Masquerade. It's a legend. It's a legendary. Masquerade's been around since I was playing music, which is, 20 years ago.
They do it right.
Yeah. If you're going to pick a show, you're going to play a show, and it's got to be one of the sweaty shows, would you rather play the hot 100-plus degree parking lot asphalt or the crowded basement?
The crowded basement.
I'm going crowded basement for sure. Basement. I love house show vibes, dude.
Yeah.
Keep it intimate. Everyone right up.
Oh, 100%.
I love house shows.
I
love house shows.
I know we've talked about them extensively at this point, but did you see the Daisy Grenade dumpling restaurant show? That was that was very awesome.
I wish I was there.
What is your go-to band for the long late night?
We got a few.
I always play For You Strong. I play For You Strong all the time, but lately it's been American Motorsports, Bill Murray.
Oh, there
That's
you
a good
go.
One. For me, it's Folie de Fall Out Boy.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I mean,
it's our
honestly,
favorite.
That's the best Fall Out Boy record. Oh, hey, now. I know we're on your show, but let me have it.
Okay, first of all, I don't know if you know Amanda from Emo Kids Anonymous, but you just made her entire life because we have a bit of a debate about Foley. I'm a Foley denier.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's
the
their best. It's their best record for
No.
sure. Like
Yeah.
aggressively, it's my
It is.
favorite.
I mean, it's better than Mania, but that's no.
That's like-
oh my.
Oh, how
gosh.
dare you compare Foley to Mania?
I am a take this to your grave, a cork
know-
tree kid. You know, that's a
Which
I-
is great.
you'll-
I just want to put this out there. I love it.
you'll love this. I actually took shade from a Fueled by Ramen head, Johnny Minardi himself, for a Fall Out Boy hot take. So that's so.
We love Minardi.
Yeah, we
That's
love
awesome.
Minardi. Let's see. What band either has, if you want to go deep cuts, or maybe talk about today, what band had or has the best music videos?
Well, I remember growing up watching Blink's videos and like their video of them running naked through this. I mean, I just thought that was like one of the craziest, most incredible music videos. But non-band, it's Lady Gaga.
Lady
Yeah.
Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga,
Her videos are
100%. If I'm talking band, probably My Chem.
Oh,
Again,
yeah.
just like
They're great.
keeping in line with the Black Parade video alone. Like,
It's awesome.
The theatrics, gotta love it. All right, these next two are split. They are for you individually. You'll love this though. Alex,
Yes.
as a fellow guitar player, what brand makes the best guitar pedal?
Cheat. I'm gonna say my favorite guitar pedal I own and have ever used is gonna be my Neural DSP Quad.
Whoa, that's a
For sure.
serious answer, sir.
But if it's like just like a pedal brand that's not an effects processor,
Yeah.
I love Way Huge, Strymon. Strymon stuff's great. There's some like one-off companies like, but there's so many good ones. Probably Strymon makes some of my favorite.
It's a real guitar player. You didn't just go with the Boss DS1. Come on, man, like classic. You're like a real
Dude, the
guitar.
Rat. I mean, the Rat's
The
like one of my
Rat!
favorite. Dude,
I
Rat is
love
one
the
of the
Rat.
dude. Rat's one of the best pedals
I got
of
a
all time.
I got a Rat at a secondhand music store one time for like $20 because the dude did not know what he had.
It's so
I just
good.
walked in and I was like, "Are you sure? Yes, okay. This feels like stealing."
Tube Screamer's my favorite. My hands down, like one of my favorite pedals ever made, though. If I had to give one, I guess Tube Screamer.
Maggie, and now this is hilarious since what we talked about with the tea and whatever. But Maggie, what is the best way to recover your throat?
I do. Okay, I'm not going to say tea because I
Hash
am
browns.
I'm anti-tea. Okay, so I have my own personal humidifier,
Mm-hmm.
technically called a vocal nebulizer.
Vocal
Fancy.
nebulizer.
I call it my vape, but it's great. Essentially, I use a saline solution and I have an attachment. It looks like I'm dying when I use it.
Yeah, it looks like a medical mask.
Yeah, like I have an attachment that covers my nose and like down to my chin.
Well, you're serious about it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
And honestly, a lot of vocalists use it too.
especially in dry climates.
Once again, not the punk rock answer of black coffee and cigarettes here.
Hey, listen, I really should stay more hydrated on tour. Like I drink more coffee than water, but I'll also say shout out to Maddie from Senses because when I was sick on tour, I had my nebulizer, but she offered me what they call pastilles. And they are vocalist specific cough drops. So they don't have like the minty type of taste to them.
I don't think they have all the sugar in
Yeah,
there either.
they're all
Yeah.
natural and it's like very waxy. Like they taste fine. Like they're not weird or anything, but it really helps clear gunk out. Like it helps if you have dry mouth. Like sometimes I'll go on stage and I'll be like, this doesn't feel right. So it's like a vocal specific cough drop.
What are your pre-show rituals?
Something that I started, or I said I didn't start this. Well, me and Zach, who played bass on the Bailey Spin Senses tour that you saw us on, he
Yes.
was the long hair bassist. Love Zach, sweetheart. But him and I each got a beer, and I looked at him and said, "Boys and toys," and he thought it would be awesome to take photos of us and put some random song on it before every show. And now it's become a whole thing where like people that come see us play want to do a Boys and Toys with me, which is pretty awesome. So the last tour we just did, I had a couple friends and people I didn't really want to do some Boys and Toys, which is pretty awesome. Boys and Toys welcome for anybody. And when we were sick, I did a
You
Boys
left the
and
door
Toys
open
with-
now.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody's welcome.
I like girls and twirls.
We do Girls and Toys, and what did we did Starbucks. It wasn't a Peeber or a Coors. it was straight Starbucks.
That's
But
awesome.
that's like my ritual as of like the last year that I've been doing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I should have more of a ritual, but I think the thing that I love doing, I love huddling everybody,
Oh yeah, that's like the
And
true answer.
having a bit of a pep talk. And usually we'll go kind of round robin, like with whoever starts the pep talk. But like some of my favorite pre-show moments have been giving the pep talk to everyone, saying, hey, we're going to have a great show, you know, say something funny that happened in the day, like just get everyone excited.
Mhm.
Like they can be really serious, like the last day of tour, like I'm just talking about how proud I am of everybody. They could be about Dave's hot chicken, like it's a free-for-all, but I really love doing that because I
Yep.
feel like it kind of keeps us all grounded and it's a good like positive way to start the gig.
I think it's also good when we do that. We all look at each other's eyes. We're all locked in. We're like, hey, we're doing this together. It's cool. I
Cool,
like
cool.
doing it.
All right, last one for the Never a Phase Q&A. Knowing that there's new music, November 7th. What day was that? November 7th? Art of Shattering. What is the best Glimmer song that people can go listen to right now?
Ooh. Oh, that's hard. It's like choosing children.
I know.
Oh, you go first.
Okay. I mean, this is going to show my bias. Honestly, I think from a all-encompassing standpoint of like the best song that we have written currently, it would be Dancing Through the Flames. On a selfish level, because I love it so much, Back to Hell.
Back to, yeah.
But Dancing Through the Flames, I think, is like the most well-rounded song that we have right now.
Yeah, Dancing Through the Flame.
Dance Through the Flames.
I would also say that. Now, if it's a bias thing, if you want to hear some sick guitar riffs, Little Life.
Little, nice.
Love for Little Life. That's all I'm saying.
Need representation for Little Life. All right. Thank you, guys. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. Hey, this is your chance. Tell everybody where they can find you. Give us all the official details on the album. Tell everybody what they need to know to follow Glimmers and catch you wherever you're going to be.
Yes, well, you can find us on all social media platforms at Glimmers Band. We're really active on TikTok and Instagram. We also have a Discord server. The link in our bio has details of joining that. We do really fun things in our Discord, monthly movie nights.
They make fun of me.
They make fun of Alex a
All the time.
lot. We do giveaways, yap sessions, game nights, you name it. We try to do a lot of fun stuff in there. And we also have a street team. So if you're interested in spreading the word of Glimmers and also earning points for everything from merch discounts to giveaways to at future shows, like hanging out with us, like in a really fun way. We're working on something like that soon. Join the street team because that's a good way to get involved and get to know us and all of that good stuff. But our debut album, The Art of Shattering, comes out Friday, November 7th. You can pre-save it now. We also have a lot of amazing pre-order merch bundles, everything from t-shirt, hoodie, maybe some physical copies. I don't know. You're going to have to find out. But we're really excited about that, and we're really excited to play Ceremony Fest in Nashville on November 8th. So, yeah.
Right when the album comes out. That's amazing. All right. Well, this has been the Never a Phase Q&A, and this is Glimmers. Thank you guys for being here so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That does it for this episode of the Never a Phase Q&A. Do me a favor, give us a follow on TikTok and Instagram by searching for Never a Phase Network. You can also go to neveraphasenetwork.com and find bios for all of our creators, articles about the stuff we love right now, as well as the other podcasts on the network. Go check out Emo Kids Anonymous. Go check out Stereotherapy. Go check out the Ska Mailman podcast. All great shows. And hopefully you'll be back to see what else the Never a Phase Network has in store for you. Thanks for checking out this episode, and we'll see you next time.